I mean, is Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get the sauce. Hey, what's up? Happy Thursday to everyone. Hope you all had a nice Wednesday night. I did. Went 4-2. Really wanted that Warriors -4.5, though. They made a late surge. I actually thought I was going to get it. Steph Curry hit a 3 to take the lead with about 4 minutes left. And I honestly, my confidence was pretty high. Golden State had all the momentum, but, man, Kyrie played well. Do you guys see that thing on Twitter with, like, Mark Cuban and the Mavs fan that got kicked out? You guys see that?
Tell him to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, but it looks like Mark Cuban, who I don't know, it's Twitter drama, but it looks like Mark Cuban, his tweet was actually a lie because someone posted a video and they were just chanting "Fire Nico." So it looks like I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I saw Fire Nico.
Right, but Mark Cuban tweeted out saying that everyone was booing the fan and wanted him kicked out. And that's why he did that, because like this fan was yelling and everyone was mad at him. But then someone posted a video from up in the stands of that fan and nobody was booing him. He was like starting a chant, a Fire Nico chant. I don't know. Obviously I wasn't there. I don't know what really happened, but judging from what I saw, it's a bad look. But yeah, had a good Wednesday night. We're on to Thursday here. God, tonight sucks, man. We were just talking about this. In addition to it being the last day before the All-Star break, obviously, right? I mean, these guys have already mentally went on vacation. We saw some of it last night. But in addition to that, everyone played last night. So every single team is on a back-to-back, which is just like, full disclosure, I don't have a single bet open right now. I know the way things are going. A lot of people have been messaging me like, yo, what are we on tonight? Because things have been going well for me recently. I'm not messing up my streak I've been on the last few weeks on tonight, man. I'll hear these guys out, but judging me and Ski were just talking, doesn't seem like he has a ton of interest in tonight's games either. Chris just joined, though, so maybe Chris can enlighten us all with some angles here. But yeah, it's a rough one tonight. Should be a short stream. With that being said, let's get into it. Sacramento, New Orleans. Nope. I'll tell you, there are 2 games. Actually, there are 3 games that like I could be talked into a bet. This is not one of them. I'd say maybe over or pass. I'll put up an over, but no interest in this one. Either you guys?
I mean, I like you could have just cut it off right there. Sacramento, New Orleans. Nope. That's how I pretty much feel about it. But if I have to pick, I would look at the total. I mean, Pelicans been playing the worst defense in the league the last 5 games, and just look at who's on the Kings roster. Nobody's playing defense. So I disagree with the market. I would lean over.
Yeah, same. Chris, anything?
Problem with the over, nothing. But the problem with the over is the Pelicans couldn't even score last night with Zion, and they don't even got him tonight. So like they scored 111 last night against this Kings team. That's why the total dropped lower. And they don't know Zion. Next, like Ski said.
Yeah. And real quick, I do have a tennis bet here from Jess. Fritz and Boo under 21. I don't know who either. This is not my bet. It's from Jess. She likes under 21.5 games at -125 for those of you looking to place a tennis bet down. Next game, Golden State, Houston. You know, I was earlier today, Slime was 6. And I wanted to bet Golden State, but then someone in the chat was like, from what I've heard, Kerr said they're resting all their veterans. It has since dropped. It's now at 1.5, I believe. So I guess that's indicative of the main pieces for Golden State playing. If Steve Kerr hinted at the veterans not playing in this one, I guess maybe I would take a flyer on Houston at the short number, and if they get ruled out, it goes back up to 6-7. But again, I'm good. Like I'm not trying to guess on who's playing, not trying to guess on what kind of effort we're going to see if they do play. So I'm good on this one. If you guys have any thoughts,
Houston is off of a win versus Phoenix, but I don't know. I just don't trust. I don't trust Jalen Green is what it boils down to. When I see him running the offense and doing all that stuff, makes me want to run the other way. That's just how I feel about it. And at the same time, like I would think Golden State would not be resting their star players because they're sitting right at 500. Do you want to go into the break below 500? Like I would think they really want to win this game. So Golden State or pass for me.
Yeah, I should have just grabbed the +6 when I saw it because that's the side I wanted to be on. Is Chris?
I bet Houston last night money line -120. Do I feel great about it now? Absolutely not. But I saw the tweet come out before Underdog tweeted it. Anthony Slater is the guy, the beat writer for the Warriors, and that's when Steve Kerr said it. He said that the schedule makers did a really bad job with us playing so late tonight, and then we're gonna get in about 3:45 tomorrow. Since then, though, and I just wanted to get ahead of the line, which is why I grabbed money line last night at -120. It went all the way up to 7. Now it's come all the way back down to 1.5 because Anthony Slater has since tweeted within the last hour that all of the guys are going to play. So do I feel good with my ticket? Absolutely not. I might just buy out of it and take a +2. That way it's like probably a win-win for me. But yeah, I thought Golden State was the right side last night, Kyle. I don't think that they're going to suit up all their players to lose another game because they really wanted to win last night. So I do think that they probably will win this game. I was trying to get ahead of it, of course, with them being out. So they are 8-5 as road dogs this season. They suck on the second leg of a back-to-back. This is a very old team. It's 6 games in 9 nights for the Golden State as well here. So I do think the Rockets situationally make a lot of sense. But to Ski's point, can we just get Sengun to run the offense? Because I'm not a big Jalen Green guy either. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with my ticket, man. Right now I got a money line open for the Houston Rockets though.
I'll put Golden State up because if I was to bet it, I would side with Ski here. But that's the side I originally wanted to be on. But like I said, nah. Let's move on to the next one. The two that the one game I think I'd be down to bet is Miami Dallas and also Clippers Jazz. I'd be down. So the last two maybe I have a little more interest in, but as far as these first 3, and that includes this one here, Thunder -9, Timberwolves catching 9 at home. I guess you just got to go Oklahoma City. We even saw kind of a shitty effort from the Thunder for most of the game, and they still wound it up winning by 14. So if you bet it early, you actually got your cover with Oklahoma City, despite them losing for majority of that game. They went crazy there at the end. I think they were losing going into the fourth quarter too, and then
by double digits.
They were down. I know they were down double digits, but going into the fourth quarter, I think they were down 2 or something, right?
Double digits. They won the fourth quarter 32-8.
Man, Miami sucks. So I guess I'll put Oklahoma City up, but I'm not straight up not betting it. Not interested in this game. Skate.
Yeah, I was at the casino and I literally just I was watching this game. I just left. I stopped watching. I was already over it. I'm surprised to see OKC still win by 14 points for that game. Yeah, I was done after the Hawks got the cover. But anyway,
you on the Hawks?
Yesterday I was.
Me
yeah.
too. Yep.
Good stuff on that. Minnesota, this looks like the team that's not playing any of their starters. Like they're looking like the team that doesn't really care about this game. OKC, I don't like that they had to come back. Like it takes a lot of energy to come back from down that big in a game. So I guess I'll go with under. If you're missing all that offense from Minnesota, I do still trust OKC's defense, and maybe tired legs for these teams will mean the shots are hitting the front of the rim. So I'll lean under in this game.
I actually am not mad at an under. Someone in the comments is saying they like the under a lot in this one. You know what? I'll switch my pick to an under. I'm down to. Sounds good. Sounds better than what I said. Chris.
Yeah, specifically a Minnesota team total under. I didn't send this out because the line had moved. I grabbed it as soon as the guys got listed on the injury report. So Anthony Edwards, who has been literally putting his team on his back, I think he has like a 50% usage rate over his last 5 games. He's just shooting a ton of shots. And that's really it. No Dante DiVincenzo, no Julius Randle. Team probably just they couldn't score last night against the Bucks. They got 101 points against the Bucks last night. OKC, granted they have to travel, But they get Chet back because he didn't play last night. So their defense is gonna be even better. They have a 95 defensive rating with him on the floor. And when I looked into it, there's a lot of things that kind of support their team total under and support OKC on the second leg of a back-to-back as well. They're 4-0 to the under, playing unrested this season on the road. Each opponent has stayed under their team total. They're allowing just 101 in this spot. Thunder playing unrested with travel has held every opponent under their team total as well, allowing just 105. And the T-Wolves have been unrested dogs once this season. They were getting 5 against the Cavs, lost that game outright by 7, I'm sorry, as well. So, yeah, I like OKC in this spot. Not at the current number, but and I like the team total under for Minnesota. I don't think Anthony Edwards going to play.
All right. Put Oklahoma City up.
Send the video.
Let's go to the next one. And I think if I was to place a bet, Heat -1.5 would be the bet I would place. Dallas, we saw their best fastball last night. They played great. Now you got, in addition to, we talked about yesterday, missing the entire front court. Anybody on that roster that's capable of playing the 5 is not playing in this game. So missing that. Now you got Kyrie Irving and Klay Thompson on the injury report as well. The Mavs left it all on the floor to beat Golden State last night. Now you add those two pieces off. I know that the Heat have injury concerns as well. Bam Adebayo is listed as questionable. I know it's crazy, but Tyler Hero is going to play. Duncan Robinson is probable. Hunter Highsmith, Ware's going to play. Let me make sure. Yep, Jaime Jaquez is going to play. I mean, at least the Heat are still an NBA team. The roster that Mavs might be throwing out there is not even an NBA team. So if I was to place one NBA bet tonight, and I'm not even saying I definitely won't, I might even end up betting this, it would be Heat -1.5.
I'm not mad at it. I think if I was making a play here, I don't know. I kind of want to try to, like you said, Dallas doesn't have any bigs. Prosper, he's 6'8", he sucks. I think Ware can do kind of whatever he wants as far as like catch lobs all day, probably grab all the rebounds. If Bam doesn't play, should be an extra boost to his props too. I would think Ware like points and rebounds or something. Or I didn't look at any numbers. That's just me thinking how the game will play out.
Ware points and rebounds. All right.
Chris, Prosper. He sucks. I know you've seen him out there. He sucks. He stinks.
You say he sucks. Yeah,
they like Ware. I've heard positive things.
Not Ware. Prosper. Yeah.
Oh, Prosper.
He sucks until I need him to do absolutely nothing last night, and he out there grabbing all the boys against Golden State. Golden State acting like they can't make a layup, man. Oh man, Golden State had me pissed off last night. But I agree with what Ski was saying, Kyle. Like if you think about Bam not playing, even with Bam playing, like. PJ Washington already been ruled out. Like they have no center. I know we're saying the same exact thing we said yesterday, but Khalil Ware's like a very big 7-foot athletic rebounder. So points plus rebound ski is 22.5. To me, that makes a lot of sense. I think you could have got. I think when I talked about it on my show this morning, the rebounds was at 8.5. It's up to 9.5 now. His points have been bumped up, I think, a point as well. So yeah, I mean, it just kind of makes sense for him to have a big game, especially with them missing some offensive production and potentially no Bam. So I guess that's the way I would go as well. I also
you talked about Ware on your show this morning, didn't you? Yeah, I remember
his rebounds. Yeah, I would also probably look like I kind of want to play under just because the Heat play so slow, and I don't think that this is a real basketball team right now either. They just got a real basketball coach. We got to remember Tyler Hero had an illness before the game yesterday. Like I'm just not sure how many points are going to be scored. I know that this came down. I think it opened like 222. But I would probably be looking towards the under as well. Heat 6-3 to the under playing unrested this season, 5-1 to the under when they're playing on the road with no rest. And how many points is Dallas actually going to score with the roster they're doing out there?
I don't know. I was kind of leaning towards the over. Just a lot of small guys out there. It's like a pickup game.
That's what we saw yesterday too, Cal. And that game finished with Dallas.
No, but you had Draymond Green playing. Like you got defensive players. I don't know.
Not with pace though. Miami's 25th offensively last 5 games. They don't play with pace.
All right, fine. Bet the under them.
No, I'm not.
All right, let's go to the next one or the last game. Are the big three going to be out there for the Jazz?
I think they are, Cal, and I want to take the points.
Yeah, no one wants to talk about the big three. What do you?
I got notes on the big.
We gotta stop this, man.
I got notes on the big three, Cal, when it's my turn.
Guys, I haven't talked to you guys since yesterday. What are your thoughts on last night's Jazz game?
Classical letdown spot for the Lakers.
Oh, so it was the Lakers playing well. It wasn't.
No,
I
the
did
Lakers
not
not
like
playing well. It was Lakers not playing well.
The big
I didn't
three.
like the Lakers at all. I thought it was a bad spot for them. Jackson Hayes got hurt. They had to put newly signed Alex Lynn out there.
Boy.
I'm not surprised by the outcome, Kyle.
Alex
Lynn, I'm not gonna shit on Alex Lynn. I hung out with him in Vegas. He's a cool guy, but
Off the
I'm
floor,
just
he might
saying.
be cool.
Yeah,
On the
that's
floor,
all I'm
Cal,
saying.
he's trash. He's Prosper on the floor.
Alex Len on the interior against the big three is crazy. It's amazing.
Oh my god,
He got dunked
Big
on by
three.
Lloyd Marketing like within a couple seconds of being in the floor. Welcome to LA. Welcome to being on the Lakers, boy.
If the big three's playing, I'm a believer.
Oh my god.
Points plus the points count. So look, Cal. I peep this. So we know Sacramento. So we know Clippers defense has not been good recently. I think they're 20th defensive rated team last 5 games. So my look on the game is either it's plus the points and Ben Simmons did come off the injury report, so he's gonna make his debut. No Kawhi Leonard. But if you look at the Jazz team total over, I probably spent way too much time looking at this. It was 107.5. It's actually coming up now with the total rising from 225 up to 227. I think it's 108.5 now. The Jazz are 8-2 to the over on their team total the last 10 games with the big three of Collins, Kessler, and Lloyd Marketing. Averaging 118.5 points, Key. We're not expecting the Clippers to be completely locked in here defensively, right? For a couple different reasons. One, it's the second leg of a back-to-back with travel. 2, it's the last game before the All-Star break. And 3, they've already beaten this Jazz team 3 times. So you got triple revenge here. As long as all of those players play, Kyle, I'm taking this. The previous matchup between these two teams was last week. It was the second leg of a back-to-back for Utah. Lloyd Marketing did not play, so they were missing one of the big three in that game. And I just talked about it. The Clippers are 28th defensive rated team last 5 games. Opponents are shooting 58% effective field goal percentage. Utah also getting out, pushing pace. They're 12th in transition frequency, 5th in transition efficiency last 5 games. Meanwhile, the Clippers are 28th and 26th in those 2 defensive categories. And Clippers traveling from home to road off a win, they've allowed 108 in 6 of their last 7 games. So we know the Clippers ain't going. We know that the Jazz not gonna play any defense, but I think this is an over game, and I like the low hanging fruit, which is that team total over for Utah more than anything else.
Ski, you betting on the big three?
Oh, I got a nice point. Whoa.
Is that his phone?
I don't know what happened. My phone just spazzed out. My bad, y'all. It just started. I don't even know what happened.
They're all ready to party. You know the All-Star break right around the corner.
Ski was calling somebody. Say bet on the big three now.
I got a nice phone call and then my phone starts spazzing out. But anyway, it really was making me nauseous every time I hear y'all say big three. Like I don't know what we're doing with that. I like Chris's look with the over. I think that neither defense has really been good lately. The Jazz defense is untrustworthy all the time. And the Clippers just lately, I just haven't loved what I've been seeing. And their offense has been there. They put up close to 130 last night. The last game they just played versus Utah, they put up 130. I don't see why they can't do that again here tonight. So the over moving from 225.5 to 227.5 makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, I was on the over last night in the Lakers game. It was actually one of my bigger bets that came through. Mostly thanks to the Jazz and the big three, not so much the Lakers, but the over.
Hold on, Cal. We hit our team total too. Relax, bro.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not. But
I don't think you
we
did.
contributed. We contributed, though.
You got close, but I don't think you did. All right, let's move on to some college basketball. Oh, Ski, what's up with the ticket girl out there? She doing all right? You seen her?
Oh, she's ready. She's ready, man.
All right, cool. I'm coming back out August for my birthday. I'll be out there. All right. So these guys, you guys probably already know where their YouTube channels are at, but in case you don't, type in Ski Profit. He does a show at this time, does some afternoon shows. He's got a late night show. And Crispy Cabin with 2 N's is in the mornings, 7:30 a.m. Eastern time when I'm dead asleep.
Wake that ass up.
Wake that ass up. The new name of the show. All right, let's talk some.
Appreciate you, Cal. Best of luck, Ski. Enjoy the
thanks for
break,
having me.
man. Enjoy the break.
Good luck to y'all. Good luck, Toast.
Yep. All right. All right, let's fix your screen here. I'll figure it out. Whatever. All right. College basketball, not exactly a loaded night, but I saw you have a bunch of bets open.
I do.
UCapper says, Kyle, let me know. I'm going to be there too. Probably mid-August. My birthday. That's probably when I'm going back.
August, Vegas, you say?
Yeah.
Atta girl.
I was making a joke. The ticket girl at Westgate. I like her.
I like her.
I put down a bet, and she's like a cute girl with glasses. And I put down a bet, and she was like, "All right," like dancing. And I was like, "I need that kind of energy every time I place a bet."
And people underestimate, like, whether it be a person at the book or a dealer. If you get that nice vibe, it makes you want to gamble a little bit more.
Excellent vibe. And
Yeah.
I made a bunch of money betting there that day.
There you go, and you'll never forget her.
Yeah, exactly. And Ski knows her. So, all right.
Oh, even better.
Delaware on the road at Towson. I saw you had a bet on the Blue Hens.
I do. Hens up, baby. Blue Hens plus 6.5 for me. Look, again, is Towson the better team? There's no question about that. I don't know if they're multiple possessions better. These two teams played not too long ago, and Towson was on the road. They won that game by 10. Now they're going to play this game at home. And I know that you might say, well, if they played that game on the road, now they're at home, they probably play better. But I think this line is kind of giving us an indication that with that, because it's kind of moved down a little bit, and you have a Delaware team that hasn't really played well, but they've also played some pretty decent competition as well as far as this conference is concerned. They had a nice win against William and Mary. They barely lost to UNC Wilmington. That game kind of got away from them later in the game, but I don't think that was as bad as people make it sound to be. So I just feel like they've been playing a lot better basketball, and they haven't really been lucky. Some of their shot quality scores have been really positive for them as well. And again, I think that the offenses are very comparable. And if the Towson defense doesn't show up, I just think that this game's going to be close. Not to mention the fact that, like I said, Towson hasn't lost or even closely lost a game since the beginning of January, or actually late December, to be honest with you guys. I think they might have lost one in there. So I just feel like their value is kind of essentially like at an all-time high for this season. And it's just a little bit too much for me. So I took the points with the Blue Hens. A little bit of a desperate spot for the Blue Hens as well.
I feel like most spots are desperate for those Blue Hens.
It's gotten a little rough over the last couple weeks. I'll give you that.
I saw you and Trev got some CLV on this one. Last night, you both liked Northeastern at 3.5. It's now 4.5.
Yeah. Again, same. I think the line tells us more than anything what this game should be. You have a Campbell team that hasn't lost since the beginning of January, and it's been looking really good. But their last couple games, the Hofstra game, obviously they absolutely slaughtered Hofstra. But then they come home and they play Elon, and that game, I feel like that game was a little bit closer than it started close. It ended up getting ugly late. But then after that game, they went and played a sleepy North Carolina A&T team, and they barely won that game by 4. And here's the thing. Those last 4 games that I talked about for Campbell, all those games are at home. Now they go on the road to a Northeastern team that has been kind of hit or miss, to say the least. They win one, they lose one, they win one, they lose one. This would be the situation where they do win, but at the same time, they're at home. They've played a whole bunch of away games. They've only played one home game in their last 5. They did beat Drexel at home, and they also, I think, can't remember let's see, where is it at? I thought I lost it. I thought they played Campbell earlier in the season, but I don't know if I wrote it down or not. Maybe they didn't. So, but either way, I just think this is a really good spot for Northeastern. But again, when I looked and I saw that this line started at Northeastern 2.5, 3.5, whatever it started at, it gave me a very strong indication of where the books thought that the money should be coming in. Because again, Campbell on paper should be at least a favorite, to be honest. I mean, at minimum. So catching 4.5 is just a little bit too much for me.
Looks like a couple people in the comments are tailing you on Northeastern. Eric Henry says Blue Hens will get crushed.
Yeah.
So all right, let's
getting hot.
Next, it's been going well for you. The guy Mike, Mike R in the comments is like, fade toast. I'm taking Towson. Like, dude, are you getting smoked for weeks? Like, you can tell they're not really doing it, or else they wouldn't.
Oh, of course, of course not. Just wait. I'm already getting chirps about baseball season. I can't wait. This is like a great time of year for me. The chirps are always coming out.
Yeah, I mean, you got March Madness, and then during March Madness, baseball's about to start. It's a good time.
It's a beautiful time.
Prop Beaver's nuts deep in his MLB spreadsheets right now.
I know. I'm excited because those are like so perfect, because it's like the couple things that I don't have, like being able to go from like left-handed to right-handed so fast with those teams. So yeah, those are awesome.
All right, next up is Jacksonville State, Sam Houston State, and I think you got the right side here. You got some closing line value. Would you get it at a pick?
Yeah, I got him at minus 110. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're on Sam Houston State. They talked about this last night on the midnight stream. Jacksonville State's first in Conference USA. So this is the number one team in the conference here on the road catching points, and it's moving towards Sam Houston State, indicative of sharp action coming in on the Bearcats side. I think you got this one right. I didn't tell you, but I think you got this one right.
Yeah, this is very similar to Michigan yesterday. I think that was yesterday, but regardless, you had a Michigan team that was playing Purdue that was, are laying points against a team in Purdue that's obviously much better than them and killed them the first time that they played. Like Kyle talked about in Conference USA, Jacksonville State's number 1, Sam Houston State's 0. Jacksonville State hasn't lost a game since January 11th. They've been absolutely rolling. They did have a close game against Western Kentucky their last time out, but again, they're another one of those situations where they've played their last 4 games at home. Now they're hitting the road to play Sam Houston State that hasn't won a game since January 11th. They've only won 1 game since January 2nd, and that was against FIU. But they have played some pretty decent competition their last few games. The FIU game, it is what it is. That was not a good competition game, but Louisiana Tech is decent. They took them to overtime on the road. The FIU game, they took that game to overtime as well. And then they kind of had a close game versus Liberty, but Liberty is much better than Jacksonville State. And I would also argue that Louisville Tech is very similar. Louisiana Tech, is very similar to Jacksonville State as well. So it's just one of those situations where, again, I felt like the line, I know I've said this a lot today, but it's one of these mid-major slates where the line kind of tells us everything. You have a team that's the best in the conference on the road, and they're catching points. Like it's just kind of one of those things where I'll let the books kind of tell me what to do right here. So I did play Sam Houston State at a pick.
All right, I would agree there. And now we get to the next one, and I think I'm going to place this bet for those of you that weren't watching the midnight stream. So last night, both Trevor and Toast declared Nebraska as the side, and I believe they actually both bet Nebraska.
Yeah, I took Nebraska money line minus 120.
I think Nebraska's the fake sharp play of the day here. I like the Terps. Fake sharp play of the day lost last night.
Yeah, somebody needs to keep track of the fake sharp play of the day record. I think it's like 50-50 right now. So I'm just kind of curious to see how it goes.
It's controversial right now because
it's controversial, but I do think it'll be really fun as we get into conference tournaments and the NCAA tournament. If you continue to do it, I think that would be fun.
So in the last 3, it was 1-2 before last night, and I won. So it was 2-2. I think I got one before that, so I think it's.
I was going to say it feels like it's been 50-50. It feels like you get
it's
every
either
other day.
2-2 or 3-2 because I think I got one before that didn't get tracked. So that's what.
Okay, we'll give you 3-2. You know what? We're nice on this show. We'll give you the benefit of the doubt. 3-2, about to be 3-3 after tonight, though. Again, I just think that Nebraska is playing a lot better. I was the head of the Nebraska Sucks fan club for a while, and they've kind of turned the corner after that Wisconsin blowout on the road. Matter of fact, you could call it they got kind of blown out by USC at home. They only lost by 5, but USC traveling to Nebraska. I think Nebraska was probably a 5 or 6 point favorite, if not more. And so losing that game outright, that's an ass whooping. So they did play Maryland close. I mean, Rutgers is bad, but anyway, all those games were losses. And then they go on the road and they play Illinois. And I'm pretty sure Illinois had some sickness issues and all this BS and whatnot. I don't really remember, but they got a really good win against Illinois at home in overtime. They went on the road to their West Coast trip and beat up Oregon and beat up Washington. And then they come home and played a pretty decent Ohio State team. I just think that if there's one thing that we've known about Nebraska is that you can trust them at home, especially in the Fred Hoiberg era. Have they played fantastic at home so far this year? No. Losing to USC and Rutgers is not okay. That's not okay at all. But again, they're playing much better. And like I said last night, I feel like Bryce Williams is starting to assert himself in like the National Player of the Year race. He's not anywhere close to Cooper Flagg and whatnot, but the way that he's been playing the last 5 games in their winning streak, 27 against Illinois, 28 against Oregon, 23 against Washington, 24 against Ohio State. If he's playing at that level, it's just, I feel like Nebraska is going to be kind of hard to stop. Is Maryland good? Yeah. I mean, they're all right, but I feel like there's a reason that they're catching points here. So I will say that Maryland's done a very good job. I've kind of faded them a few times and I've lost, so we'll see what happens. But I just don't really feel like Maryland's that good right now, especially going on the road, where I know that they had I think I was actually Maryland was the Illinois game that they played Illinois and they were all sick because they won that game by 20. But winning at Indiana on the road isn't impressive. They lost to Northwestern on the road. They lost to Oregon. They lost to Washington. They lost to Purdue on the road. So Maryland on the road in conference really hasn't been fantastic. I wish I knew off the top of my head. I'm almost positive I misspoke. I'm almost positive when Maryland played Illinois, that was a sick game for Illinois. But regardless, Husker up.
Yeah, I know it's the Northeastern logo and not the Nebraska logo. I'm aware. That's on my list of things to fix this weekend now that I have some time. So, yeah, this is a clear case of overreaction to a small sample. Nebraska has certainly looked better the last 2 or 3 weeks, without a doubt. But we talked about it last night. This line in this very spot, Maryland at Nebraska, probably would have been Nebraska +4 as recent as 2.5 weeks ago. This is called an overreaction, and we fade those. Maryland wins outright. +1.5, sure. Next. Memphis at South Florida. Line's moving in your favor in this one. Actually, it looks like the line's moved in your favor in every single one of your bets.
What can I say?
I saw this graphic says 7, but I actually saw a bunch of 6.5s out there for Memphis.
Yeah, I like South Florida here. Memphis, another one of those situations for me that Memphis is in a spot in the marketplace where they're as valuable as they can be. They've won, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games in a row. They've lost 1 game since the 28 or after that Mississippi State loss, where they got kind of blown out. They've lost 1 game, which was since December 25th, including they beat Ole Miss as well, which is a pretty decent team. They beat North Texas. Again, Memphis has played really well. But they haven't always blown teams out. They went on the road and played Tulane. They won that game by like 10+. They went on the road and played Rice. They won that game by 3. They lost to Temple on the road. They won the game by Charlotte by 9. I just feel like this team has it. The only game that they really won on the road that in convincing fashion was FAU, and they absolutely blew them out of the water. And I think we were all on that game. But I just feel like their value is a little bit too high right now. And you have a South Florida team that that has been playing pretty decent basketball. They lost to Wichita, but they beat Temple. They lost to Florida Atlantic, which I know that looks bad. But the thing that's different right now is that I think it's the turnovers that's going to be different. One thing that Memphis relies on a lot, and I know they're getting a couple of their guys back. What's his face? Tyrese Hunter is going to play today. I know all that. I knew all that coming into last night or when I bet it last night. But the issue is that Memphis kind of feeds on their turnovers. When they can get their turnovers and get out in transition and play their pace, that's what they do well. And that's when they succeed. But the thing is that South Florida doesn't turn the basketball over. They're 3rd in the conference in turnover percentage. So it's not like Memphis is going to get a whole bunch of easy buckets. And you have Hunter coming back. So I don't know really what he's going to be able to, how much he's going to do for you as far as turnovers is concerned. And on the other side of the ball, Memphis is one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in the conference in turning the ball over on over 20% of their possessions. And again, South Florida, and again, defensively top 3 in the conference in forcing turnovers. So I don't think that Memphis is going to be able to get all these easy run out buckets that they're so used to, not to mention the fact that South Florida plays the same type of pace that Memphis does. So I don't really think that Memphis is going to be able to do anything that's going to really throw South Florida for a loop here. Neither team can rebound and neither team can shoot free throws as well. So again, if Memphis is able to hit a whole bunch of 3 balls to kill it, so be it. But I just feel like this is kind of like a sleepy spot for Memphis here. And we've seen this team kind of, especially on the road, kind of just give out kind of dull performances. So back-to-back games at home. Now they have back-to-back road games. Wichita State on deck, which again, Wichita State isn't fantastic, but still kind of means something in this conference, I would assume. So yeah, I took the 7.5 with South Florida. It's probably one of my favorite bets of the day.
Ren says he's taking the fake sharp pick in the league. I got to submit my league picks. Yes, I'm aware that the wrong logo. When I built it, it searches for strings of text, so it finds SF before it gets to USF. It works for professional sports, but with college, there's a lot of the logos, like Nebraska has NE in it, so it's finding Northeastern. So I'm rebuilding that. That'll probably be tonight. This will be the last time you see the incorrect logos. I'm down to, I don't know if I'll tell you on this one, actually, but I would lean that way as well. By the way, just reminded of the league. Let's bring the standings up. I had a great night last night, but went 2-2 in the league. My league picks only went 2-2. So let's see what we're looking at here. Miranda Jenkins is low-key a secret sharp, by the way. She joined the league. Yeah, she joins the league and now is leading her division again. She ended up not winning it last week, but she came close. So here we got Scoop, who went 4-0, taking the lead in Uptown Girls. Miranda running away with Charleston. Kuzmaville is afraid. Look how loaded Kuzmaville is. Ace Boogie currently in first place. Patrick Corbin, we got Edwin and Sober Bets. Jay Steve is up there as well. I'm in Hudson River. I'm in 5th place. Still in striking distance, though. And then Fruit Roll-Up is just the gauntlet. You got 6 people there plus 2.4 units or higher. So Fruit Roll-Up, tough conference to be in this week.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And Steez is minus 7.2 units for those that were keeping track of Steez.
Anyway, speaking of fake sharps, go ahead.
No. I'm glad we got to this game.
We didn't get to 100,000 subscribers for nothing, so please.
Yeah, I'm going to take the lead here. So next up, we're heading out to the WCC. Great conference.
Such a dude.
We got San Francisco on the road at Gonzaga. And for those of you that tuned in last night, it was me, Toast, and Trev Vandenbosch. Went through this game. Toast got, I don't want to use the word triggered. He was upset that me and Trevor questioned the Gonzaga defense, and he cited their last 5 games. Said, look at the Gonzaga defense in the last 5 games. That trend is dead. Saying they've actually played good defense in the last handful of games. And to be fair, they have. The Gonzaga defense sucks trend might be a thing of the past. I think that's fair to say. They have played good defense in 5 games in a row. That being said, look what Toast Bet is. Let's pull it up. Gonzaga team total over. Now, what is this indicative of? After defending the Gonzaga defense on the midnight stream to a fault, just went to bat for this Gonzaga defense, he posts this bet in the Discord. Gonzaga team total over. So we trust the offense, but why would you place a team total over and not lay the points unless you didn't trust their defense?
I can see where you put the pieces together there. You almost got there. So it's a valiant effort. But the reason that I played the Gonzaga team total is that this the more that we started talking about the Gonzaga defense made me take a dive down the deep end. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, trying to understand this hate, which I still don't understand, by the way. And just for the record, we're talking about teams, about their record and how bad they were and stuff like that. San Francisco, 87 on in KenPom as far as offensive efficiency. Oregon State, 50. St. Mary's, 39. It's not like they haven't played teams that are pretty good as far as offensive efficiency is concerned. But Gonzaga team total-wise, shout out Tanner McGrath for this sweet post using our boy from CBB Analytics. San Francisco defense, opponents have shot 25% from 3 against them, which only is going to go up. Not to mention the fact
that could be indicative. That could be indicative.
Absolutely going to get shredded inside with Graham Ike here today. So my issue is I didn't want to play a San Francisco team total under because I know that you guys are all, like I've been saying all day, you guys should play the San Francisco team total over if this Gonzaga defense is so bad. But I just didn't want it to be a Gonzaga blowout and then I have to worry about anything like that. So I do think that Gonzaga is the right side here today. If you guys want to call me a homer, you can do that. But again, I haven't made a Gonzaga bet in weeks. So I don't know what else to tell you guys, but that's just how it is. So San Francisco has looked pretty decent, yes, but they also haven't really played anybody that's like Gonzaga at all. I know that, and they've also played St. Mary's twice. They got beat by 20 one time. They won by one time. So again, I don't really trust them on the road. We'll see what happens. But yeah, again, I think they get smoked here, just like they got smoked against Santa Clara and just like they got smoked against Washington State.
So, first of all, Swish said, does Toast have a son or nephew that plays for Gonzaga? He sounds like an angry parent. That was good.
I mean,
but Trevor's in the comments, and Trevor understands. I mean, I'm sure some of you watched last night as well. Toast, after defending the Gonzaga defense, takes a Gonzaga team total over. I'm just saying, the math ain't mathing on that. If you truly stood behind, give me the over.
Yeah, because Gonzaga is going to score 100.
Yeah,
so
San
if you
Francisco
were
probably
sharp,
scores
if you were
92.
so sharp and you were so confident in your handicap, you'd be playing San Francisco team total over 69.5.
I do like that bet. I do like that bet.
Number, oh, would you look at that? It's dropped down to 68.5 now. Now you got even a better value on it. Look at that. That's air.
Shipley's on San Francisco team total over. He says it's a
Did he get 68 or 69.5? I'd be curious.
I'm not sure.
I mean, I would just wait it out. Just wait it out. He might get 67.5. Who knows?
I'm not sure if Shipley's line shopping. He probably could. All right, we got one more game left, and that game is I threw this on because I saw you had a bet in it. UC Santa Barbara, UC Irvine. A lot of people like betting this conference, by the way. I've noticed a lot of college basketball people like this conference.
Yeah, it's the Big West. It's kind of fun. This is more of me just feeling like UC Irvine isn't really as good as people are making them out to be personally. UC Irvine, second in the conference at 10-2. Again, they're probably a much better team than UC Santa Barbara. I don't want to make a case like that, but you have a UC Irvine team that's going to have to go and take their Hawaii trip the next game out, their next game. So 2 days away, they got to travel to Hawaii. So I really don't like this spot. They also just got done playing UC San Diego, which as far as this conference is concerned is a really big game. Those are the two best teams in this conference. And you have UC Santa Barbara that's quietly starting to play well. They lost to UC Davis and UC San Diego. The UC Davis loss that's a bad loss, but the UC San Diego loss isn't that bad. The CSUN loss isn't that bad. And they've played well against these other lower echelon teams. And now they have essentially the game of the year. They have UC Irvine as their last game of the year as well. But this is like their biggest game left on their schedule, like I said, besides their last game of the year. So I think they get up for it on the road. They haven't been terrible on the road. I just thought that this was a way too many points here. So I think that the UC Irvine defense is very good, but I also think the UC Santa Barbara offense is very good. So we'll see what happens. But I just thought that 8.5 or 9 or whatever I got it was just way too many, especially when both teams shoot free throws pretty well too. Neither team has a huge advantage on the rebounds. Matter of fact, Santa Barbara is actually kind of bigger across the board as well. So put all those things together, I just thought that 9.5 was way too many points. I made this like 6.5, I think.
It seems like the squad is definitely the other way there. Trev, Irvine is dismantling tonight. Helms, Irvine is going to smash Santa Barbara.
Down to 8.5 now. Shame.
Juice,
better get on it fast.
Juice says Anteaters Hulk smash. That's a sick logo.
You know what to do, Kyle.
I'm doing it with you. Let's go.
You know what to do.
Yeah, I'm taking the plus the points here. I'll fade the squad. Look at that logo. That's fucking sick.
Isn't that? I know
That's a
the
sick
Gaucho.
logo.
That's like one of my favorites.
Yeah, and I don't know a damn thing about this conference other than Long Beach State has more heart than you could quantify in a model. Other than that,
yeah,
that's this conference, right? Long Beach State.
3-10 conference record, 10-3 heart.
What, Long Beach State?
Yeah,
but okay, 3-10 conference record. What's their ATS record?
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're 10-3 as long as if you factor in the heart factor. They're
exactly. So that's what I was trying to say. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. We'll probably do a midnight show, but it'll be quick. There's not a lot of games on tomorrow night. So we probably pick out like 3 or 4 games to do a quick one. And then obviously Saturday's college basketball show there should be a lot of people. There's no NBA this weekend, so you get a lot of people. This weekend, the NBA All-Star break, there's a lot of people that are dipping their toe into the college basketball pool for the first time, and then they ride it through March Madness. So there's a lot of people where like college basketball season starts now, the first Saturday, where they're forced to bet on it, and then they get into it. So Saturday should be a fun one, and also the Friday night show. We're going to do like 20 minutes and then pass it over to the Pump Fake Pod again like we did last week. They went through like 80-something games. They're crazy over there. So that's the plan. Be back at midnight. I'm going to probably just post bet Maryland light. And the next 2 nights, I don't really know how much action I'll be posting. But Saturday, I'll be putting down a lot of college basketball bets. There was a couple of people that just joined the group and were like, "Where are your bets?" I'm like, "Dude, you picked a shitty day to join. I'm not really betting anything right now." So yeah, we'll be back on track in a couple days. Hit me up if you need me. I'll be here working all night. I'm working on some things.